America, Republicans are now in control of the House. They're in control of the Senate. They got the White House. And if we don't do nothing by gnarly, they're going to have the Supreme Court too. But Senate Democrats plan to slam the brakes on Trump's nominees. Yes, indeed, America. It is true. Democratic leaders in the Senate promise a tooth and nail battle with Republicans over President-elect Donald Trump's nominees to the slew of senior cabinet positions. They've called for extensive financial reports. They've called for lengthy hearings. They've called for panels with witnesses. They have copious questions. They have, they've limited the number of confirmation hearings in a single week. Republicans, on their part, think they envision America an accelerated process with quick votes, but it's not going to go down like that. Now, here's my thing. So, politics does require a level of hypocrisy, just a little bit, right? Because a couple months ago, Republicans sort of basically, every time, for example, Loretta Lynch, it took them about 200 days to confirm Loretta Lynch to be the Attorney General. And they were like, oh, well, we need more time, blah, 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 blah. And Democrats like, you need to give the president his team. Rah, rah, rah. Republicans are like, no, we need to scrutinize. Now Republicans are saying, you need to give the president his team. And Democrats are like, no, we need to scrutinize. Which is why, folks, this is bad for the American people. I'm not saying I agree with any of Trump's picks, but this level of gridlock that we've created in Washington doesn't work for either party, Democrats or Republicans. What you're going to get from Democrats in the next 2 years is 2 years of utter and complete, they're going to obstruct everything. Utter and complete obstruction. Like, nope, we're not going to vote on it. Nope, you're not going to get 60 votes. We're never going to give you 60 votes. Ever. On anything. And then it's going to become this battle. And the American people might, the parties might switch controls of the House and the Senate in 2018. And we're back at it again. So this is part of this larger problem with Washington as to why it's broken. Now, I think every president deserves to have his team. But while I like some of Trump's picks, like I like his pick for Homeland Security Secretary, Mr. General Kelly, I have a big problem with Betsy DeVos because I think Betsy DeVos has an ideology that just does not work for the American people. Right? And I'm not saying that I want somebody that's like totally pro-teachers union, somebody who's totally pro-anti-charter, because Arnie Duncan wasn't anti-charter, neither was John King. But they believed in the power of public education. That's really what the crux of this argument is. Believing in an accountable, transparent, high-quality public education system where every child has access to it, and every child can use it to get to the American dream. But I got to tell you, folks, I really got to tell you, this is there's no other way to say it, but the fix is already in. For progressives to win this thing, here's the crux of this argument. We didn't take Donald Trump seriously during the general election. We just, let's be real. Progressives might have, but Democrats in general didn't take Donald Trump seriously. Thought it was a joke. Now he won. Now the Republicans and the Trump people, they're like, yeah, this is like Donald Trump, like he said in an interview to Playboy in the 1990s. And when they asked him why everything was gold-plated around him, it was because this is the Donald Trump show, and we always are sold out. We have a sold-out crowd every night. So Donald Trump is now living the Donald Trump show at the White House, and it's a game to him. It's a show to him. And so what we've got to do, progressives, we've got to treat this like a show. Right? We've got to get out of our silos, get out of our emotions, and we've got to say, you want to put on a show? Guess what? We're going to put on a show as well. And sometimes in that show, you sit back and you fold your hands and you let things collapse. We're going to talk about Obamacare later in the show, but Obamacare is a great example. If they want to repeal Obamacare, okay, go on ahead and repeal it. Unfortunately, Americans are going to suffer. But at least they will know why they're suffering. They're not suffering because of Barack Obama. They're suffering because of misguided Republican policies. Case in point are the folks in Kentucky, which we're going to talk about them later in the show too. But the coal miners in Kentucky who benefited from the Affordable Care Act because of the benefits for black lung, who might lose those benefits because Trump is going to repeal the whole thing. And They don't have a replacement. I just want them to say, oh, they're like, oh, we have show me the bill. Like Nancy Pelosi said, just you got to vote for the bill to see what's in it. Well, clearly there was the Obamacare wasn't perfect, so this time we aren't voting for the bill until we see what's in it. So Republicans, show me the bill. Show me the bill.